So if you're not here for the first one, this indicates so I can go back and just do a quick recap of what things I said before you joined the class. Okay, that means I would have to continue like that. Then. So we have A, M, B, C. Okay, now for A and B, from the daily time frame, it looks like there's nothing meaningful there. But when you take a closer look at and go down to the lower time frames, when you take a closer look and go down to the lower time frame, you see that there's actually a lot to talk about on on A and B. So I'll be going down to the 4 hour now. Okay. So now on the 4 hour, the first thing to notice here is that we have a support level here. Okay, so we have a support level here. And after price came to test this level here at first, it's reversed back all the way up here before coming back and breaking it and going below the support level, which turned to resistance throughout when the time throughout how I said it broke price broke through the support level here and it turned to resistance as long as price was still below it. But now we are back above it and we are back for the test of that same support again. So to me this is a bullish signal. I don't know if it's the same for you. Okay, so I don't even need to write it down. So this is a bullish signal for us here. So now what I'm looking for here is entry points to take my trade. Okay. Okay, another reason why I said this is a bullish signal is if we should break this level, then we are going back down here. This one here. Okay, so this because this one here is not actually really meaningful. So I don't expect price to stop here to break below this one. So it will be going all the way back down here, which I don't expect anytime soon. So I'm expecting price to bounce back from this level here to the target I'll be giving. Okay, so let's go down to the 1 hour. Now on the 1 hour, everything looks normal. When you draw a trend line on price from here all the way down, you see that price in was initially under this trend line here before we had a breakout and price started moving, consolidating around here. So this is just like the same thing that we had with KNC. A breakout followed by a consolidation is actually a bullish signal. So once you have a breakout, what you're expecting is now coming. Let me use an example. For example now, price was trading below this trend line. then we had a breakout. So what we're actually expecting from price here is something like this. Either we have a retest or we continue like that. But for this one, price came back for a retest and moving below, started moving on the support level without going in any significant direction. Let me go down to the lower time frame so you can see it clearly. Okay. So we had a breakout from the resistance trend line and price started consolidating around this level. Before the start of the class, the price was still below this um price was still inside this box here, but we already have a breakout now, which gives us more confirmation that we are ready to start moving up. Okay, so most of the time when something like this happens, because when Bitcoin dumps, instead of it to play out, the Bitcoin dump will affect it and start consolidating, showing that the coin is actually very a strong one. Because if the coin is not strong, once Bitcoin affects its movement, what you should do is to just start going down from there. But because it is a strong coin and it's on a support level, it just kept ranging around this point here. So this A and B analysis is very straightforward. On the higher time frame, you have a support level, and here we have a trend line, then a breakout, price consolidating here, and we're expecting price to continue moving up from here. So it's very straightforward. Okay. So that, if you understood um, this one, just let me know in the chat box so I can move on to the other points. Okay. For those that missed the KNC analysis, I'll go back to it after I'm through with this one. Okay. So if you understood this one, let me know so I can move on. Okay. Sarah and Devin said understood. Okay, so I'll be moving on to the next point now, which is ANKR. I personally like calling this one Ankara BTC. So this ANKR is one of the coins that I love trading because no, I will not even talk about it, but I know that it's one of the coins I love trading because it gives a higher percentage. Okay. Someone asked that can't we still buy? Yes, you can still buy AMB. You can still buy AMB, yes. I don't know about KNC for now because I'm not looking at the chart. Okay, so you can still buy AMB. And I think it's misbehaving again. Okay. Now for ANKLTC on daily chart, we have a support level. We have a support level here. Price is on the support level here. Okay. So what we're expecting now is either we want to know if price will be going up from here or price will be going down from here. Okay. So you cannot say that because you saw price on the support level, you automatically think that it's going up from there. No. You have to find other confidence reasons to know if it will go up or go down. Okay, so now let's go down to the 4 hour tool. It's been a while I used my RSI step, but let me leave for now. Okay, so for this class, I'm just doing pure price action. So let's go down to the 4 hour. Okay, now the 4 hour. What we're currently looking for now is price going up from here or going down. Okay? So for me, what I see here is we have equal highs here, equal highs. This is the first one here. And next high here, and we had the third high here. Okay, so now we also have higher lows from this bottom here. We have higher lows from this bottom here. So this equal highs plus higher low gives us an ascending triangle. Okay, so for me, an ascending triangle forming at its support level is a bullish signal to me. I don't know about you, but because people just look at patterns and say that from the textbook that they read, it's supposed to go in this direction. I don't look at my patterns that way. At least I try to find a conference reason to know the direction that it should be going. Okay, so for example, now assuming I just saw this ascending triangle here without any support level, I'll just ignore it because you can actually go lower. There is no rule that says it must go up from there. Before I used to believe in all these textbook definition that once you see an ascending triangle long, once you see a descending triangle cell, all this one is rubbish. Okay, so now I'm expecting price to go up from here. So from the daily chart, if we were to enter this trade from the daily chart, um, if I was to enter this trade from the daily chart, what I'll just do is carry my stop loss and bring it all the way down here. Okay, but because we've seen a an ascending triangle on the 4 hour, I can carry my stop loss and bring it around here. Or if you want a tighter stop loss, you can bring it somewhere around here. Depends on what you want. Okay, so for the higher time frames, you can use this one here. For the lower time frames, you can use this one here. And for a tighter stop loss, you can use this one here. Okay, so I'm expecting price to move up from here. So there's nothing really complicated about this ANKR. It this analysis unless you want to make it hard for yourself. From here, my target to start from this level here. I've been expecting ANKR to come for a while. I was in this trade here that took us from here to all the way up here. And I even gave no I think it was my other colleague that gave them this signal. Though I saw it earlier, but he gave them this signal and we were actually in this trade up to this point before Bitcoin started misbehaving and we had to just close the trade from around this point there. Okay. So ANKR is very straightforward. Our confidence in here is the support level, an ascending triangle. Okay. So I haven't dropped the signal already for them, so they can take it. Okay. So let me move to the next one. Okay, now the next coin here now is COSBTC. COSBTC. COS is actually a good coin for the long term. So after this COSBTC, I might talk about DGB BTC, or I'll just go back to KNC, and that's enough for the day. Okay, so I don't actually believe I don't actually believe in analyzing a lot of coins, as just one or two is enough for me to trade for the week. Okay, so now for COSBTC, I analyzed this coin last week, but because it is actually a coin that gives a higher percentage, it's still at, it was around there when I analyzed it last week. You can check the video on my YouTube channel, and we are here now, so there has been little or no significant change since then. So my first confidence reason on COS is the downtrending trend line coming from the daily chart. So you notice one thing here. One thing common among these coins is that Bitcoin made all of them break out first before making them dump. So the strong ones actually had their breakout, the retest, and they started consolidating around the retest level without going down. There are a lot of points that actually went down and they decreased, like not just too much. So these ones actually, they didn't go too low, they maintained their level and they're still very good trade. Okay. So yeah, our first confidence reason for COS is the descend a downtrending. Number one is a downtrending resistance trend line. I actually deal with trend lines more because I I have come to study them a lot and I see that they work more in the crypto market. So I can't just carry trend line to FX and be hoping for it to move from there. So it's just that you have a lot of losing trades, but in crypto it works a lot. So now, we have our trending resistance trend line. If you've been following me since morning, you see that I said that a breakout from a downtrending resistance line with a retest and followed by consolidation is actually a bullish signal So we had the breakout, we had the retest, and now we are consolidating around this level. Sorry. So it's actually a bullish signal to me. So I'll be including it in my conference reasons. So, so we have a downtrend resistance trend line. Number two is a breakout followed by test and price started consolidating from there. Okay, so now we already have two conference reasons. Now we already know we have a bullish bias from COS. Okay, so we've been having a bearish market structure, the wise up to this point here now. So if you are very good with market structure and you understand it very well, you know that the first how you would know that you're about to have a shift in market structure is when price starts changing market structure from the smaller patterns, not just pricing just starts coming in here now and start forming higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. No, no, no. It won't work like that. You'll have to start from the smaller side here before you think of a change in market structure um, for the bigger picture. Okay? So now here we have a potential double bottom. Why did I call it a potential double bottom? Why? Because it is price is currently yet to reach the neckline to give us a full confirmation that this is a double bottom. So for now, it's just a potential double bottom. Okay, so this is the potential double bottom. I'm expecting to get to the neckline here and can start moving from there. So now, when we break this neckline here, we are going to this resistance here. So it is very much possible. We have a support level here, and we're expecting price to bounce back to this resistance here. So this potential double bottom pattern that is currently forming gives us a confirmation that we might actually get to that resistance trend line. Okay. So, so from here now, we've had the downtrending resistance trend line, we've had a breakout followed by a retest and price consolidating from there, and now we have a double bottom pattern. Okay. Now another thing to look at here is complement right that. Okay. We have a potential double bottom. Okay. So this is our three confidence reasons for now. Okay. So another thing to look at here now is we have price moving in a channel. So when you start drawing your trend line from this top here, from here again, way down, we have a channel here. Okay. So we are also expecting a break of the channel to the upside. So what I'm seeing here is that price is giving us bullish patterns and how it would play out in the future. So instead of us to just be expecting like a move from here to the upside and break this trend line here and start moving up, price gave us a double bottom pattern here. So we know that we'll first have to break this one first, and when we break this one, we are surely going to this side here. And because it is a channel, then we are going to break out from it and start going up. And also it is a because it is a because price is in a range here, I've been expecting a move from there. Price would continue going up from there. So it's just like stage one, stage two, stage three, stage four, and till we get to our destination. Okay, so the last thing I want you to see here is last thing I want to see here is this channel here has more like a pole here. So to me, this is like a flag to me. So I'm expecting price to break out above. And a flag is always a bullish pattern, just that this pole here is not just long enough, but it's still valid to be called a flag. So I'm expecting a breakout from here and price to start moving upwards from there. So far I've explained the bigger picture and the smaller picture. This is the bigger picture here. If you are to mark targets from the bigger picture, I would start marking out from here. This is my first target, and this is my second target, and so on. But what you have to say is that how will price get to this level? Which process will it follow to before it gets to this level that you're just marking out? Are you just marking out magical lines on the chart without thinking where and how price will get to that level? So that's why we came back here and analyzed this one here. We had the breakout, retest, followed by a consolidation instead of a continuation to the upside. So we are expecting price to break out from this side and go up. So this is the bigger picture here. Now, how do you expect price to just move from here all the way to this side here? Now, this is why the double bottom pattern is there for us, the potential double bottom. So the potential double bottom will first come to this neckline here, break this neckline here, and get to this trend line here. Then when you get to this trend line here, the bullish flag pattern here will now give it enough momentum enough volume to go to this side here. Then because it was in a range before, the price was in a range, like I said earlier that we are in a range, that would now give it more volume to move to this next one. So to just like we are following the process. If you understood that, please let me know. So if you don't understand, I can come again. Did you understand what I said there about the process? I'm expecting price to follow. Someone drop a comment. Okay, if you so Simon said, if there's anyone else, okay, good. So now I'm through with the serious analysis. I don't really have to go to the lower time frames. If I'm going to the lower time frames, it will be because it will be to check for the double bottom pattern. Okay, let me go down to the lower time frame. You see that the lower time frame is all about the double bottom. So I'll say this is more advisable to take once it gets to this neckline. Once we have a fully formed pattern, then it is advisable to take this trade. But if you are more aggressive, then you can take it from here and keep stop loss below this level. I'm even seeing something now coming. I'm going to go down to the 1 hour. Okay, I'm not sure if you can see this, but let me mark it out for you. So a we have more like a cup and handle pattern that broke out here. Like this is the cup, this is the handle here, and this is the cup. Okay? So everything is just like a process. You have to follow the process. Not every coin will give you enough confidence using like this, but this one is enough to. This one is enough to let you know how price should move, and it will quickly help you know when price is not moving as it should. Okay, so this is the handle here. We have the handle and we have the cup itself. So this is we had the breakout here, and now we are back for a retest. So we can still see price below this level here, and can have wicks. So can have wicks here. So that shouldn't be a problem until it starts going below this side here. Let me mark it out. Until it starts going below this side here, that's when you should know that maybe something is changing. So we're expecting something like this from price. They move up like this from price. Okay, so that I will be going below that. So that's that. So now, for those that were not here for the first analysis that I did on, for those that were not here for the first analysis that I did on KNC, let me quickly go back to that. If you understood this CUSBTC, you can let me know. And if you have any questions about it, you can ask now before I move to the next coin. Okay. So with that, let me move to KNC back then. My network is still misbehaving, but it should load now. Okay, so we have our chart. So the coins that I've analyzed this night so far is KNC, AMB, ANKR, and COS. Okay, so let me just do a quick. This coin should be part of it. What's the name of the coin? DOT. but because we already had the breakout already, I saw no reason. I saw no reason to analyze, so I just decided to leave it like that. Okay. So for this one here, we first add. Let me play it in. Okay, so we first add the price is on a support level. Price on a support level here. This is our first confidence reason. So we know that when price is on a support level, all we are waiting for is either a breakout, a continuation from here to the downside, or a reversal. Okay, I'm even sure that if we should check the RSI, we might see a bullish divergence. But for now, I've been restricting myself to using price again recently, so I don't want to use any indicator at all. So now we are on a support level. From if you look at it from here also, we have a downtrending resistance trend line. Okay, so equal lows plus a support level gives us a equal lows for a support level gives us a descending triangle pattern. So this is actually a descending triangle pattern. Even if you are just trading for the first time, you should have been taught in school that this is a descending triangle pattern. Okay, so now, like we are told in the textbooks that a descending triangle should break downwards. I don't believe in all that. From what I've seen so far in this space, I know that patterns can break out anywhere, except a few patterns, like the falling wedge. For example, now if the falling wedge does not break out to the upside, then we know that it has failed. And if the rising wedge does not break out to the downside, then we know that it has failed also. So for patterns like this, like the ascending triangle, descending triangle, they can break out anywhere. Don't let anybody tell you anything different. So they can break out anywhere. So now what we're looking for now is a confidence reason to know where it should break out, whether it is to the upside or to the downside. Okay, so now to the 4 hour time frame. Okay, so now on the 4 hour time frame, we have, let me talk about this. Someone drop a comment. Okay, so for KNC, we are, who is annotating on my chat? Ibrahim Akin. Okay, I'm coming. Let me remove the person. I'm coming. If I should see it again, I'll just remove it once. There's no going back on that. Okay, so now we had a downtrending resistance trend line, and like what happened for COS, we started consolidating after the breakout instead of just moving from there. So price was just ranging here. This box here. So before we had this breakout here. And also another thing is that, let me go down to the 1 hour. We also had a double bottom pattern. This currency is actually a very long time coin that shouldn't be played with. Okay. So we had a double bottom pattern. This is the first bottom here. This is the first bottom here. And we have the second bottom here. Okay, so and for the neckline, we have the neckline here. Before price broke out from the neckline. So if you look at it now, say price is still within the neckline, so it's still possible to enter this KNC here. Now, before we had the breakout, this is where my stop loss would be before we had the breakout, around here. Okay. But now that the breakout has happened already, I'll be shifting my stop loss around here. Once we see a significant move, or once we achieve a first target, maybe once price gets to this level here, then I can shift my stop loss to this side. Okay, so now we already know that for the descending triangle, we are expecting it to break out upwards to the upside. Okay, so we're expecting it to break out to the upside. So once we get to this level here, this one here, and we break above it, then I know that price should, then I'll shift my stop loss back to my entry point. Yeah. Okay, then I'll shift my stop loss back to my entry point, and from there we keep moving. Okay, so there's nothing really complicated about KNC. It's just like COS. Like I said, when you see a bullish signal on the daily, what you do is go down to the solar time frames and check the process. When you check the process, then you know how it should happen. Is it how it should move? Where it should start the move from, where the move will be validated, and also your profit target. So this breakout of the double bottom here is not significant on the higher time frames like the daily chart. Okay, so that's for KNC. So for my target for KNC, okay, my target for KNC should start from here. This is for my long-term target. Should take maybe a few days to surely get there. Okay. So we have, this is my second target here, up to this point here. So immediately I saw this double bottom, I immediately dropped the signal for them at my workplace, and I'm sure that those that will be trade should be in profit now. And I also dropped a few coins for them to AMB, ANKR, COS, and the rest. Okay, so we know that this is a bullish pattern. We're expecting a bullish move to the upside. Okay. So if you have any questions on the coins that I've analyzed, and if you have any other question, I can answer it before ending the class. Okay. So any questions? Any questions? Any question? Okay. Sam said he has no question. Who else has any question? Okay, someone asked me that for the DOT BTC that I dropped, at what point do you subject to opt out? Okay, let me check my DOT chart. DOT BTC. DOT BTC. If you have questions, drop it in the chat box. Let me know so I can answer it before ending the class. Okay. Okay, DOT BTC. Okay, so a lot of people were even saying that why did I not tell them the name of the coin when I dropped it on my status? I actually dropped it on my in my Telegram channel, its name. So if you didn't check it, then it is up to it is no longer my. If I said, where do you actually see coins to pick? That is my own personal way, and I don't plan to share that now. So I wouldn't be answering that question. Okay, but I'm preparing something, Sha. When it is out, I'll let you all know. So okay, for this one, yes, if you took the trade from here, if you took the trade from here, then you should be taking partial profits at this current level here. But I'm quite sure that you should get this resistance here. I'm very sure. This is just a small move now. Just a bullish, just one bullish candle. I don't expect this to be the high before price comes down again. No. We can have a retest here. I'm coming. Let me see clearly. I'm coming. I'm not even sure that this retest is not possible. We can have a retracement to the downside. We can have a retracement to the downside around here and continue. But for this coin, from what I've noticed from this coin, when it starts moving in a particular direction, it's moving full force. Okay, so even if there's a way people measure this um um when you say ascending triangle, and you want to know where it would get to. There's a way people measure this thing coming. Let me show you. Okay, so the peak they are measuring to, and measure it from here to this point here, to this equalize here. So this is around 21%. So let me do the same thing again. Okay, so from this equalize here, let's look for 21%. So you see why it is just the moment is just starting. This is just a small. If you are looking for retracement before the continuation, then you can go to the lower time frame, like the 1 hour 13 minutes, to see how you can enter. Okay, so Okoyemi said for the DOTBTC, would it be nice to wait for a retest 24 hours for anyone who intend to join? I would not advise waiting for a retest, but if you are that patient, and I also want to advise you entering from here. Okay, so let me check the 15 minutes chart. Okay, from here we have as okay, so like I said, we can still have a move down to this region here before the continuation. But why bother chasing a coin when you can trade other coins like ANC, AMB, CUS, ANKR, and the rest? Okay, so you can still get a retracement to this level, like I said, and I hope I've answered your question. Okay, if this actually plays out like as a double top, then you should see this level or this one here. And even if we get it, it will be by just weeks. Okay, so have I answered the question? Is there any other question? Any other question before I end the class? Any other question? Oh, how do you enter a trade with a 5 minutes or minutes time frame for optimal entry? Okay, I don't really go to the 5 minutes or 15 minutes to find entries for my trade as coming on. For crypto, most of the candles on the 5 minutes or 15 minutes time frames are always not well formed. So I don't really go down to the 5 or 15 minutes time frame to look for my entries. Okay, so what I just do is I find conference reasons. If I should see a conference reason on the 1 hour or 15 minutes, it's enough for me to enter my trade and move from there. So for me, I think entries are overrated. Once you find a good RR, entries doesn't matter. You can think you find sniper entry and the price will still go below your sniper entry. So all those are just marketing stuff. So I don't believe in those things. Okay, so any other question? 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 Okay, since there's no question, then that will be the end of today's technical hangouts. Okay. So thank you for attending. I'll be uploading the recorded version on my YouTube channel. So that will be that for today. So thank you.